don't look too black. Could he get
You
a...
don't want
No,
one?
black. Get some...
What line? Good evening?
Good evening.
Everybody uses that once in a lifetime, Earl.
No, but...
Okay. Go, we can start now. Good, Earl.
Go ahead.
You open it up now. The tape's rolling.
Look at Busse.
Hey, when he says good evening, we should do like this.
Okay, Mark, I'm going, okay?
Go ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Maywood Park. And to you. See, hey, Mark, I'm ready. Come on, you guys. Now I'm ready. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Maywood Park. My name is Earl Williams, and Maywood Park is trying a little something different this year. We're trying to have a driver for every weekend. Every Saturday night, we plan to have a different driver. And with us tonight is Daryl Busse, everybody's favorite. Daryl, welcome to Maywood Park Show.
Thank you very much, Earl. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Tony? Get them.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Wait a minute. It's a good thing you did it. What am I, a fucking orphan? You didn't tell him who I was? He goes right to Daryl. Huh?
Okay, well, better yet, you open the show.
No, you open it.
No,
Your
you
show.
open the show. No, you open the show, and then I'll take you by your cue.
Okay, okay. Let me know when.
When?
Hello again, everybody. Well, there's a break in the action. From now on, through the rest of the meet, we'll have a special attraction here on Saturday night, the Earl Williams segment, in which Earl Williams and I interview one of Maywood Park's top drivers. Earl's very pleased to have Mr. Daryl Busse with us tonight. Earl?
Daryl, welcome to Maywood Park's new show.
Thank you, Earl. My pleasure.
Daryl, we're going to try and do something different this year. We'd like the public to meet different drivers every Saturday night. And I know that a lot of people ask me a lot of things every time I'm down in the stands. And a lot of people ask me what track drivers like to drive at. Which is the track that you would say you like to drive at?
Well, I think it's lucky around Chicago, Earl. We got all kinds of tracks. We got, of course, Maywood and Sportsman's Park most of the year. And then we got Hawthorne, of course, with the mile racetrack for a couple of months at the beginning of the year, during the winter. But I think that you kind of got to gauge your racetrack on what kind of horses you're driving. I kind of like Maywood. I have a lot of luck here at Maywood, and I think Hawthorne is probably an easier racetrack to drive at because you've got a little more room there, of course, and a long stretch if you got horses that need cover or stuff. And then, of course, Sportsman's Park's got a long stretch too, and the money's good over there, so. Probably money-wise, I would probably like Sportsman during the summer, although it's a real tough meet.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of drivers tells me that you on a mile track you can make a mistake and no one never know it. You can always recover and win, or be second or third.
Well,
you can get lost and still come back.
I don't know about that. I think the racing fan around Chicago is pretty sophisticated, and I think that if you make a mistake, it doesn't. Although they can't see it quite as good at Hawthorne. If you make a mistake, they're going to let you know about it, whether you're on a half-a-mile track or a mile track or if you're a sportsman. Of course, Sportsman in Maywood, you goof up there and you're right in front of everybody. And they can
Well,
really see it.
here at Maywood Park, post position is so important from the rail out. And I know you have an interesting answer for this question, Daryl, and that is, if you had a front runner, which post position at Maywood Park would you rather have, the 1-hole or even the 3 or 4-hole?
Well, I think if I got a front runner that can get out of there real quick, I think probably the inside post positions 1 through maybe 4 are the best for you, of course. And of course, a lot of horses, are real quick at the gate, so it really doesn't make much difference if you got a. But really, the ideal post position, I think, would probably be around the 3 or the 4 hole
because of the angle.
Good angle into the turn. And of course, if you have the rail, that's ideal. But then if you get a horse that isn't quite as quick getting out of there, and he does race better on the front end, sometimes you can get cut off going into that turn. So
yeah,
it's better off being in the middle.
For people who are here at Maywood Park for the first time, looking at our half-mile track compared to the other bigger race tracks, it's not front runners don't win all the time. That's not a rule here at Maywood Park, of course.
Oh no, I think about the worst position that I've ever been in, is with the decent kind of horses, probably the 2-hole around the 3/4 pole, especially if the race is real competitive. If there's 7 or 8 horses in the race that are right close, because a lot of times you get trapped. The case in point last night with a little horse, General Thorpe, I had in the last race. He got trapped in the 2-hole and couldn't get out, and really had a chance to win the race. But a front runner here will do a lot better, of course.
Yeah.
As a general rule, than he will over Hawthorne or Sportsman.
Daryl, let me ask you one thing. What has happened in the last 5 or 6 years that make these horses go so fast?
I think it's a lot of things. It's to begin with, your racetracks are maintained so much better. I think your training of your racehorse has changed a little bit. And I think the drivers themselves have changed a little bit on their philosophy as far as driving. A little more aggressive. They're getting down to the front end a little bit faster than what they used to do. And of course now you're getting more toward more catch drivers, I think, than people driving their own horses. And I think a catch driver is liable to be a little bit more aggressive with a horse than a person that is driving his own. I mean, it doesn't always happen that way, but you know, people are pulling a little quicker, and the pace of the race is
faster,
quickened up on the front end of it.
In other words, a guy today driving a horse today, he drives them all out. Years ago, that guy used to save a horse.
Well, you get to the front and you get down to half around 3 or 4 and then try to go. That happens occasionally now, but not very often. Usually the pace of the race, you know, is quicker on the front end.
Earl, I know you wanted to close it out.
Well, Daryl, I know you are going to be in the Hall of Fame any day now. If I had anything to do with it, it would be tomorrow. But show racing fans, this is a Hall of Famer here if it ever was one. Daryl, congratulations, and hope to see you soon in the Hall of Fame, buddy.
Well, thank you very much, Earl. My pleasure.
Earl Williams and I will be back next Saturday night with another top driver here from Maywood Park. Thanks for your time. Windows remain open. Thank you, and now back to the races.
Look at